Okay, everyone. So now we are learning that how to use inheritance in the program. So here, first of all, we have created a form. This is form 1. Then we change the text of the form, that is Ankit Verma. I have given my name. You can provide your name. Then afterward, we dragged and dropped one label. This is label 1 and change the text, that is inheritance. Then afterward, we dragged and dropped one button, which is button 1, and change the text, that is click. Now we double click on this button and afterward this code will open. Here we are having class form1. So for this form1, one class is created which is public. That means it can be accessed outside. This class is ending with the end class. Now here one method is also declared which is button, because we clicked on the button, that's why this method is created. Sub stands for no return type, button underscore click. So that is the name of method. Private, because this method is the part of form, so it cannot be accessed outside. That's why it is private. Then two arguments are passed. This is first argument and this is the second argument. And this is going to handle button 1 dot click. That means whenever we click on this button, then this code will run. Now it is ending with the end sub. Above the coding of button, we have created a class. So this is class A. Now it is the public. Public stands for it can be accessed outside and ending with the end class. So this is the boundary of class A. Then afterward we have created one more class which is class B. This is public. So that can be accessed outside and it is also ending with the end class. So this is the boundary of class B. In the class B, it is mentioned that inherits A. Whenever the keyword inherits is mentioned and after that class name is mentioned, that means class A, all members we can access through the class B. So class B is going to inherit the class A members, and all the public and protected members are accessible. We know that the class is the combination of data members and the member functions. So here the data member is created in class A, which is private type, means it can be only the part of class, it can be accessed outside, we cannot access. Then A as integer. So here one variable A is declared of integer type. Then afterward, we are having sub new. Whenever we are having the new with the bracket, that means it is the constructor. So here in that we are passing the variable also. So this is the argument we are passing and this variable is x. So this x is passed as the argument integer type. So this is called the parameterized constructor. So here it is parameterized constructor, and because it is the part of parent class A, that's why it is called the parent parameterized constructor. Public is can be accessed outside and end sub. So it is ending with the end sub. So this is the constructor. Then afterward we are having disp1 and afterward brackets. So that means it is the method or the procedure, that is the same thing. Sub means no return type. Public, it can be accessed outside and ending with the end sub. So this is one block. Because this method is a part of parent, that's why it is the parent method. And if we talk about the variable A, it is the parent part, that's what is a parent instance variable. We know that there are two types of variable. One is the instance variable, second is the shared variable. For the shared variable we use the shared keyword, but here it is the instance, there is no shared keyword used. So this is the instance variable. So here the class A members are declared. Now talking about the class B, who is inheriting the class A. Inside the class B we are having one private member, that is M as integer. So one variable M is declared. This is the instance variable because shared keyword is not used, and this is the part of child class, that's why this is the child instance variable. These all things are the comments. So we have mentioned them into the single code. Whenever single code is applied, that means it is the comment. Compiler will not read that. So all the things which are mentioned here into the single quote, that is the comment. So these all are the comments. Then afterward in the class B, we are having new with the bracket. New stands for constructor. So this is a constructor. Sub, that means no return type. Public, it can be accessed outside, ending with the end sub. So this is the boundary of the constructor. And here by value m as integer. So one variable is passed as the argument. That's why it is the parameterized constructor, and it is the part of child. That's why it is the child parameterized constructor. Then afterward we are having the function which is disp2. Here disp2 is having the sub means no return type, so it is a procedure. And afterward we are having the public, so it can be accessed outside, ending with the end sub. So this is the boundary of the procedure, and this is the method of child class. That's why it is the child method. Now we are going to see that how this program will work. So first of all, we are going to click on the button, then afterward the code of button will work. Here we are having dim obj1 as new a. Whenever we are having the new keyword, that means it is the object. So the class A object is created. That means this class A is having its object which is obj1, and with the help of this obj1 we can access the class A members. Now here we should note one thing, that class A object is created and this is the boundary of class A, so only the members which are there inside that boundary will be accessed. And afterward we are having 100, so this is the parameter which is passed. Whenever we pass the parameter, then parameterized constructor is called. We can only access the members of class A because we have made the object of class A. So here we are having the constructor which is new, and in the bracket we are having the parameter which is passed is x. So the value 100 is now given to the x, so this value 100 is going. Then afterward x is providing its value to a because a is equal to x, so a variable is now having the value 100. Then afterward we are having obj1 dot disp1. We can access the members of class A, and inside that we are having disp1 procedure, and in this procedure we are having message box. So one message box is printed. In the bracket we are having parent method, so that string is displayed as it is, and we are concatenating with the A, and the value of A is 100. So this 100 is shown. Then afterward click on the OK, and we are going on the next line. So here afterward we are having dim obj2 as new B. New means it is the object. So B class object is created. So that means class B is having the object which is obj2. With the help of obj2 we can access all the members of class B. So here important point to note that this obj2 object can access all the members of class B, and also class B is going to inherit class A. That's why this object too can also access the members of class A. It can access the protected and public members. The private members cannot be accessed. Means all the members of class A and B are now accessed with the help of object 2, except the private members of class A. Afterward we are having 200. That means the constructor is called. Here we have made the object of B. That's why the constructor of B is called. The new keyword stands for the constructor, and in the bracket we are passing the parameter. Here this 200 is going to provide to M. So this is the value which we have provided to M. Inside the constructor we are having the keyword which is MyBase. MyBase stands for means who is my parent. We are into the class B and the parent of class B is class A. So it is saying that go to my parent. So from here we are going to the parent, but where into the parent? It is saying that dot new. So it is saying go to the constructor. So here in the parent constructor we are going and is saying that m, pass the parameter m. So here in the constructor which is new, we are passing the parameter and the parameter value is 200. So this m contain 200. So we have provided this value 200 here. It is saying a is equal to x. That means the value of x is going to a. Here we should understand one thing. Already one a variable is present, but that was for obj1, object 1, which is the object of class A. Here the separate a variable will be created and that will be for object 2, obj2, which is the object of class B. We know that different objects can have different copies of the variable, and this is the instance variable which can have the different copies. So if we are having 5 objects, then 5 copies can be there, so that is not a problem. So here the separate a is created and here the separate a is having the value 200. In the obj1a already have the value 100. So whenever you are going to access the obj1 value, you can access that. But here we are having the object to a variable as 200. Now this 200 value is given to variable a. Then afterward we are going on the next line. It says that obj2 dot disp2. So here we are going to call the display2 function. Now here disp2 procedure says that inside it is going to call the disp1, because we know that all the members of class A can be accessed from class B. So directly this disp1 function can be called. So here by using this we are going to call the disp1 function or the procedure. Now inside that we are having message box. So message box is printed. Then afterward it is saying parent method. Again the parent method we have shown. Then the value of a. Here we are using the object 2. So object 2 variable a value will be taken, which is 200. So this 200 is shown. So this is how we can inherit the class and all its members. But we should understand that while using the inheritance, only public and protected members are given to the child class. So we can access the members of the parent class, but not the private members. So that's all about the inheritance.